Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, April 12th, 2018. So I want to cover two big news items as usual, but first I want to talk about the roughly $30 billion increase to the entire global cryptocurrency market that happened this morning around 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see here we went from about 270 billion to roughly 300 billion. Currently we're at 299.4 billion US dollars. You can see the jump happened right around 7 a.m. Litecoin went from 115 roughly to, at its peak, almost $10 more than that, 124.9. Bitcoin had a much larger jump, and you can see the volume here as well. Bitcoin went from roughly a little under 7,000 to over 8,000 at its peak, but basically 7,800, 7,900, and currently it's at 7,700. Again, you can see on all of the charts here, the spike happened at the exact same time here, right around 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the entire market got, $30 billion pumped back into it. And I want to be careful here, because when I say pumped, we don't necessarily know if this is the same situation as we saw a few weeks ago, where we had Litecoin go from about 110 to 136 and then taper off and trade sideways ever since really the beginning of April. I don't want to jump to conclusions and say anything. Of course, I think that goes without saying. I don't think anybody's really saying like, oh, here we go, we're about to blast off and get the market back on track. It could be the case, but it really could also not be the case as well, so I just want to be careful there. But one thing, it is nice to see money actually going back into Bitcoin, whether it's just for the next day or two or not. Another thing that I saw a lot of people pointing out as well, EOS actually took the number 5 spot on top 100 cryptocurrencies. You would have to go here and change it to all because EOS is a token, and if the default setting on CoinMarketCap is to just rank coins. So if you want to track both coins and tokens, you can just click all here and then you can see all the valuations. Currently, EOS has about $100 million valuation above Litecoin right now. You can see yesterday there's really a huge run up with EOS. And that was one of the coins that I wanted to put in my top cryptocurrencies. However, top 5 was really narrow. However, I do want to talk about this more at the end of this video, but for now I want to jump into Franklin, one of the Litecoin developers at the Litecoin Foundation. Our project, LTC Pay.com, is live, a fully open source solution to allow anyone to accept Litecoin payments. And these are the developers here. And if you just want to go over to the website, welcome to LTC Pay. LTC Pay is a free service for merchants to accept Litecoin for their businesses. LTC Pay is compatible with BitPay service to allow seamless migration and merchants to not need to trust LTC Pay to accept payments, since all payments go directly to the merchants' wallets and the Lightning Network is enabled. And there's some videos here. There's still some updates they're doing to the site here. But here's the sign up option. You can start everything here if you'd like. Additionally, in the last video I made, I was speculating on who the huge merchant processor was that Dan and Eric had talked about in their interview. And Eric clarified here that it is not Square. He said, again, a good guess. A lot of people guessed that. They actually have well over 2 million merchant accounts, but I will work on it for you. Again, Square is owned by Jack Dorsey, who is also the CEO of Twitter, the founder of Twitter. So yeah, it's still kind of up in the air who that big announcement is. I'm still excited waiting for that. And this is something that was covered a lot yesterday, but 10x added support for Litecoin. And they're working with the Litecoin Foundation to introduce a co-branded card for more information, for which more information will be available soon. And this is kind of like a mock-up of what it would look like. It's very, very attractive debit card, credit card for anybody interested in that. Something you might have been interested in ever since, the LitePay, LitePal, but it's actually coming into reality as well. But yeah, no, just to get back to the price, basically I know what a lot of people were excited about this morning. I woke up a little late this morning, but around 7 a.m. is when the big price increase happened. You can see just this massive amount of volume here. And like I said, that wasn't limited to just Bitcoin or Litecoin. Really, the entire market got a lot of money thrown into it, about 30 billion US dollars. Myself included, every time there seems to be a significant price increase, specifically over the past few weeks in the sideways market we've been having, a lot of people jump on it, and it definitely, piques some people's interest, including myself. But I just want to be careful because this has happened numerous times over the past few weeks, and we end up going kind of to this baseline for Litecoin, roughly around 110, 115 US dollars. I actually got a comment yesterday, or overnight last night. Jack Wilson said, "Tyler, how have you been coping with this sideways action? I'm losing my patience." And so, yeah, the market really has been trading pretty sideways. It hasn't really been going up or down. And so that's why it's so significant when you even see, a price increase from about 115 to 123, 124. It's nice to see that, and it's nice to see the volume increase. But really, if we're going to see a breakout, we want to see more sustained volume. We don't want to just see like one huge spike like this, and then what we saw the next few hours was, still significant in terms of sell volume compared to the past few weeks, but still not really enough to necessarily mean that we're going to be on an upward trajectory here. And if we really look on a macro scale here, a daily chart of Litecoin, you can really just see just how sideways we really have been trading, basically ever since the end of March, beginning of April. March 29th here, you can see, and then ever since then, we've really been in between this 113 to 120 US dollar range, except for that 2-day period on April 3rd and 4th, where we broke up to like 135 US dollars. But again, I would just be cautious about this. I personally would not be buying at these prices because, in my opinion, it's very possible that we do come down again to here. And if we don't, at some point, we're probably going to have to retest, maybe not the exact bottom of what it's been for the past few days, but still somewhere maybe in here, 7,500-ish for Bitcoin, maybe again 120, 115-ish or so for Litecoin. So yeah, I wouldn't be buying at these prices because we don't necessarily know whether or not this will continue. It's very likely that we could end up coming back down here and testing these again, but slightly lower highs again. Well, what do we have? 109 here, and then a few days later we had 111, and then we kind of had 112, 113. So it's slowly been creeping up. The lows have slowly been getting higher, and so that's ideally what we want to see again. We don't really want to see it come back down to 109 or 108. But again, I don't really think necessarily right when this kicks off it's going to be exactly like this, a huge volume candle and a huge increase. I don't think it's going to be, 130 to 170 in a day or two and then continuously climb. If that were to happen, where we'd have a $30 to $40 price increase all in a very short amount of time, it's very possible that we would likely come down again, test some lower support, and then head back up if that was the trajectory we were going. So yeah, I personally, this isn't financial advice, but I'm personally not buying right now. And I'm just waiting to see how this plays out. So I'd love to hear everyone else's feedback. Love to hear what everyone else is doing. To be honest, we kind of still are trading sideways, but it is really nice to see a lot of that volume and money come back in. And there are some players, aside from Litecoin and Bitcoin, that have been seeing really big gains, really. Specifically, EOS had a lot of big gains yesterday. And then today we see a lot of big players as well getting some significant. We see Amise Go, Cardano, and IOTA getting some nice increases. We even have Ripple at about almost 14% there, which I know all of you are huge fans of Ripple. But then we have Monero again, a little under 200. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see as usual. We're kind of just trading sideways right now, but it's likely even if we do have a big burst of price action, price movement, we'll go back down and test some similar levels, maybe 120 or a little below that, like we've been seeing before we would go back up again, if that were to be the trajectory that we're heading to. But yeah, thanks for watching. Just want to do this quick update on Litecoin specifically because I haven't really covered Litecoin in the past few days, specifically regarding price. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts, love to hear your comments. But I hope everyone has a great day. Please like, subscribe, and